Hi, this is Fred with Quality One Engravers. I'm going to show you how to easily digitize a drawing. I'm going to go to Open, and I happen to have this pistol GIF, which is real bad, but I did get from a local vendor this AI file, which is a little nicer. And I'm going to open it up in grayscale. 300 dpi is fine. Now this has black lines on it, and I plan on digitizing lines for this bitmap. So if I'm putting a black line over a black line, it's a little hard to see. So I'm going to go under Image, Image Adjust, it's Control L, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. Oops, that's not the right one. It's this direction. And I'm going to lighten this up. That way I can see it nice and easy on the screen, and then just say OK, and then File. I'm going to save as, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG, and pistol G for gray, and OK. Now I'm going to go to Casmate, and I'm going to go bitmap insert on logos, pistol. This is where I keep all of my logos, and I'm going to bring in a JPEG, and there's that pistol G. Say OK, and here is, now in Casmate it's ready to do vectorizing, but I'm not going to vectorize this particular logo. So I'm going to start with some of the easier ones. I kind of like to start from the inside and work out, but I've got my point digitizing tool, and I'm going to take a point from here to here to here to here, and as I walk around this logo, I'm going to figure out where I want points to stop. Now I'm also going to hit Alt-C, which turns on my control points, and then I'm going to use my Move Bulge tool to move these into the shape that I want. Now I could have used more points to make it a little more accurate, but this is pretty much what I want. Now I'm going to make this oval here. So I'm going to start from this straight point, and if I wanted to, I can actually tie this point together. It actually tied together, so now I need to go from this point, and since it's kind of egg-shaped, I can't just do one contour here, so I'm going to go in little steps, go around, and this is a nice easy contour here, and then right here. Now the reason that I tied this together is it makes it all one point, so when you're engraving, you're not going to have a pinup, which will cost you time. So some digitizers like to leave you lots of pinups. I like to leave you the bare minimum. My logos, of course, will cost you more, but they will save you some time. If you're doing one up, maybe my service is not the one to take. So here I'm going to hit F6 to zoom out. I've got this much of it done. Some of it is going to be real easy to do. Some of it's going to be a little more complicated to do. There are other things that you can do when you're doing the digitizing. You could start from this point to this point, and I can drag and hold. Click here, drag and hold, and don't worry, you can always clean things up afterwards. This one's a nice semicircle. And then there are instances where it doesn't matter how perfect the circle is that you are digitizing. It's going to be possibly engraved very small. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this point and this point and this point. Now I know that this is a completed shape, so I'm going to first thing I'm going to do is kind of clean it up so I get them nice straight lines. And then I'm going to use a little trick that I use quite often in making logos engrave faster, and I do it especially with my fonts. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to take this a little closer and this a little closer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this path. So I click right here. So basically, I can actually exaggerate it. Here's this point, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this together. So now your contour is starting right here, going around, and then I'm going to take this point and drag it over right over here. So if I hit F7, now it's all one contour. And then to straighten this out, I'm going to come over here, take my point editing tool, and drag this over a little bit. I don't know why the arrow key didn't work, but move this over, and then take a look at my drawing. A couple other tricks that are real easy to do is I know I want all these lines, so I'm going to digitize the first line. I'm going to go from here to here, and then I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to hold the Control key and the Shift key and copy it over here, copy this one. Now other programs have the ability that you could type in a number and get a perfect spacing, but this is pretty quick unless you're doing, you know, several hundred, and I can, after I'm done, move them so that they correspond perfectly. And even Casmate has the ability to do it, but usually if I'm doing something like this, it's easier just to copy it, and then F6 to zoom out, and I can possibly take this, Control Shift, and I'm going to copy this one over here, F7 to zoom in on it, and I use the hotkey F6 to zoom out, and then again I could do the Control and the Shift to copy these over. And as I copy them, you can see basically what's happening there. Now this is basically your line art that I'm doing here. Of course, things like this is a screw pattern. Those are really simple to do. I'm going to come under here to my tools, and I'm going to draw a 3-point circle here, here, and here. And then I'm going to take my line tool, and I'm going to do that same trick again. So here's my circle and line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this contour right here, and then I'm going to tie this together. This is what ties 2 points together, and hit enter, and now this is now one contour. If I want to, I can go to my point editing and move this over a little bit so that when it engraves, you don't see that little mark. And then F6 to zoom out, hold down the Control key to copy it, go down here, F6 to zoom in, F7, I'm sorry, and I'm going to just use my arrow key to match it up right over the top, and then F6 to zoom out. And basically I walk through the entire logo doing this, and then I'll stop the video here and show you the finished product.